Stop the Nonsense, episode 10. Ready to stop all the nonsense that's going out here. And, what do we got? We got, number 10s. That's what I'm trying to think of here. Ron Francis comes to mind. Fran Tarkington. Clyde Frazier. Phil Rizzuto. Does the cat have a 10? Because he's talkative.
This is what I deal with my everyday life.
Phil Rizzuto. And I think the best 10 in the world right now is Lionel Messi. But, that's all I've got for number 10s. And another 10, 10 years. 10 years, Mike Trout is adding on to his current contract. 10 years, on top of the two, for a total of $430 million. Insane. Absolutely insane.
It's a monster contract.
Monster contract. It's actually, it was first just reported at 12 years, 430. But what it actually is, it's a 10-year, $363.5 million on top of the 33.5 he will make every year, or the 33.2 something that he's going to make for the next 2 years, and then he'll start making $36 million a year after that. And they bought him. They bought him because he's not there for their winning. That's for sure. But,
no.
But man, he's a special player, and they're giving him a special contract. I couldn't believe the numbers when I saw it. Not that I can't believe it, but I was just the awe of holy hell. That is a lot of money. And remember, with baseball, these are guaranteed contracts. He's getting every dime. So it's not incentive laden. It's not, in football where if a guy stops producing, you could cut him and you don't have to pay a large portion of his contract. Nope. He is going to get $430 million by the time this is all said and done. And there was a tweet by Spotrac. Is it Spotrac? I never knew. It looks like they took it down, actually. Maybe they did, but it was just saying that Trout, with this contract, will have made more money than anybody in American sports history. I don't know how accurate that could be. It's because it's probably team sports they're talking about. But because
you figured. Yeah, I was just gonna say Floyd Mayweather would probably blow that number out of the water.
I would think so over time. Although he's probably also blown the money from what we've heard, which is why he's still fighting. He's a big gambler, that guy. But it seemed Bryce Harper said he was going to recruit Trout. Trout was very tight-lipped on it. Speculation has gone on for years that Trout would like to go to Philly. Back home, he's from Milltown, New Jersey. Was a Philly fan growing up. He's a big Eagles fan. You always see him tweeting "Fly Eagles Fly" on football Sundays. I believe he was at the Super Bowl when they beat the Patriots.
He's on the sidelines a lot.
Yeah, so a lot of people thought he'd end up in Philly. There were Yankees fans who were saying, "Go get him." That was never going to happen. Okay, that was stupidity. And he just basically said no. And how can you say no to $430 million? I wouldn't. I mean, it just stinks that he's on the West Coast because nobody gets to see him.
You can give me $430 million, and I'm pretty sure I'd do anything in the world.
Would you live in Siberia for 10 years?
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, you got the money at that point.
What's the exchange rate? $430 million probably turns out to like $4.3 billion.
I don't know. I'd have to look that up. Who knows? But yeah. So the best player in baseball. I think if we can agree that he's the best player in baseball, I think it's head and shoulders above everyone else.
Oh, 100%.
Quite frankly,
guy can do it all.
Yeah, I don't think it's close. It's not close at all. I have Arenado number 2, and if you put them next to each other, I'm taking Mike Trout every day and twice on Sundays. It's not even close. So he's the only thing that sucks again is that he's playing out in Anaheim and he's on at 10 o'clock at night, and he's sort of a quiet guy. He's not a flashy personality. That's why I think Bryce Harper is more the face of baseball than him, because he's quieter and Bryce is flashy. Bryce had the Make Baseball Fun Again hats. I know Puig was wearing them. But this was pretty much a Mike Trout move of I'm comfortable here. I like it here. I guess his family's happy there. I don't know if he's married. I think he did just get married recently. I don't know if he has any kids. But There he is. He's an Angel, and he's going to be there for a very long time.
Yeah, he's gonna probably just play his whole career one team,
Well, maybe
which
he could
is
get. Maybe he'll get 1 year with Bryce, since Bryce is in Philly for 13 years. Maybe that's what Bryce was talking about.
maybe he had it all planned out.
Just 1 year he's going to get with Trout. I mean, and Phillies fans got to be bummed out because they were so sure he was going to Philly. Like, they would go crazy when the Angels played in Philly. I don't know if you ever saw it. They would have the Trout section. Everybody thought he's going to Philly. I personally didn't even want the Yankees to go for him if he hit free agency because he would have been 29. I mean,
Yeah.
do some simple math here. The Yankees weren't paying Harper or Machado at 26. They weren't going to pay Trout at 29.
No.
And so the Angels, they're going to pay him now through 38, if my math is correct there. I believe he's 26, right?
Yeah, I believe so.
He'll be paid through 38. And, I just feel bad because I think he deserves to be on a big stage, and I don't know if he's ever going to get to playing out there. I mean, good for him as far as financially.
Yeah, 430 million. I'll play in fucking Bangladesh.
Imagine Bangladesh, put together a star team.
What's big in Bangladesh? Cricket?
Sounds about right.
Yeah.
Could be totally wrong. And
Close
people
enough to
call us
baseball.
Racist. Cricket is crazy, man. Those games those games could last days.
I've watched some cricket when it's on TV. No idea what's going on, but entertaining.
And those guys are intense, man.
Yeah.
They are. You talk about needing to see emotion in sports. Go watch some cricket. Those guys.
Isn't that
get
bat
into
called like a wicket? I think it's called
Is
a
it?
wicket. I think so.
I wouldn't even know.
I could be making that up. I really don't know. I don't know
Sounds
what
good.
the hell goes on. Yeah.
I like it. Use the wicket. And there's but I can't believe that the games can go on for days.
It's crazy.
It's
I
nuts.
don't know the rules. I just watch it. I'm like, don't know what's going on, but I'm enjoying this.
Another baseball note: Gio Gonzalez agrees to a minor league deal with the Yankees. The value of the contract can go up to $12 million with incentives, but he's getting a $3 million base, and he also has an opt out on April 20th if he's not on the major league roster. I like this deal. I like that. You can always use pitching depth with Severino on the shelf currently, and CC is going to start on the DL. You bring in a left-handed veteran. There's very low risk, if any at all, and I still see people complaining about it, but I guess that's the world we live in.
Yeah. Everyone's always going to complain.
Yeah, and let's not forget that this guy is only 1 year removed from having a really good year with Washington in 2017, where he went 15-9 with a 2.96. And last year, after he was traded to Milwaukee, in 5 games he was 3-0 with a 2.13. Now, he only threw 5 innings to start. He's always had an issue. He walks guys, but you're not bringing him in here to be the ace. You're bringing him in here because your ace is on the shelf, and you need arms. And he's a solid arm. He's a veteran presence. I don't think he's a guy who's going to be overwhelmed playing in this market. I think he'll be on the major league level. I see that they're kind of giving the edge to Sessa and Herman currently, as well as Jonathan Loizaga, Johnny Lasagna, as we like to call him.
Lasagna.
But I think you're going to see Gio Gonzalez pitching in Yankee Stadium before too long. He's signing late. I mean, baseball season's 10 days away, so we're getting there. Which reminds me, next week's going to be our preview episode.
It is.
We gotta bring our division winners, our MVP picks. It's gonna be fun. But so Gio Gonzalez, a Yankee, and I don't know what else people want. Like I was in class when this broke, and there was a Yankee fan complaining. Like they're not signing Keuchel. Keuchel's got a first-round pick attached to him, and I don't think you could get mad at the Yankees for that because guess what? No one else is signing him either.
Yeah, kind of sucks. As much as I want Keuchel, I understand the thought process behind not getting him. But
Yeah, I mean, you would have to, Severino's arm would have to fall off for them to consider that. Like, they'd have to be in a catastrophic place to give up that first round pick. I really believe that because they're going young. You've got 2 studs in Andujar and Torres. And you drafted. Did they draft or did they sign Andujar? Came up through your system. Glaber you traded for in the Chapman deal. Then you got Chapman back as the genius that is Brian Cashman continued to work. But that's where the game's going. The game's young. And by the way, this might be a hot take just amongst Yankees fans. Gleyber Torres is a better player than Miguel Andujar.
That's facts.
And he's going to be a much better player than Miguel Andujar over their career. I believe that 110%.
And I'm right on board with it.
Yeah, and that's not saying Andujar's bad, because I love Andujar's bat. And watching him in spring training, I'm happy to have him. But I guess it's a love affair, because he should have been the Rookie of the Year.
Yeah.
But Glaber's going to show all of you how quickly you've forgotten what this guy was doing before the injury. Because he was right there for the Rookie of the Year award before he got hurt. Speaking of Andujar and playing well in spring training, I don't know how you feel about this, but I hate the fact that Aaron Judge is so red hot right now.
Yeah, because, I don't know, it's meaningless games, and it's good to see him swinging the bat good after the wrist injury and everything, but...
Yeah, that's true. But I feel like I saw that last year. I mean, he played pretty well in the playoffs. He hit the home run off David Price.
Yeah.
And you know, it's just... I remember one year, I think it was 2005, Hideki Matsui hit like 400 in spring training. And everyone was like, oh, he's going to have a monster year. Nah, started off slow. Like, you get all jazzed up about spring training when it really means nothing.
It literally means zero.
You know he doesn't have... All of his hits are extra base hits.
Yeah.
He's got 6 home runs, 4 doubles.
He hit triple yesterday.
And a triple. No singles. And it's like, hey, I could be wrong. He could just stay red hot right through April and May and have a huge season, and I hope that's what happens. I don't like seeing it. I'm kind of like, hey, calm down. It's spring training. No need to go nuts.
Don't blow your load too early, Aaron Judge.
Exactly. None of us want to do that in any situation. American Pie, people.
Yeah, fucking Nadia.
But that's just a little thing that bothers me. Other baseball notes: Clayton Kershaw is going to miss opening day. He's started opening day 8 years in a row, which I believe was the second longest active streak, and it makes me really sad. I hope the emotion does come through when people listen, because it really makes me sad, because I loved Clayton Kershaw. I know you think he's your stepdad.
I know he's my stepdad.
And he was on his way, no hyperbole, to being the best starting pitcher ever. Go look at his numbers. Go look at what he was doing. I know people are going to go postseason. You know what? He's gotten a bad rap in the postseason, but he's had just as many great games in the postseason as he's had bad ones. His back, that's when I started to get concerned, when he had the back issue, and his velocity went from sitting at 94, 95, occasionally touching 96, to sitting around 90, 91. And now he's having shoulder soreness, and he's not going to be ready for opening day. I'm really worried about this guy long term, and it sucks. Because I love him so much. You can go back to my old baseball podcast, which was called Crosstown Rivals, where I would gush about this guy. I loved watching him pitch. If he was pitching that night, I was staying up and watching the West Coast game because he was amazing. But
I can't confirm that.
What?
I said I can confirm that you would stay up and watch Kershaw pitch.
Oh yeah, I'd be snapping it. I'd be like, "Oh, the goat's out there," and it's just unfortunate that you never like to see a guy break down, and I just feel like he's breaking down, and I don't know if he's ever going to get to that level again. He started throwing a lot more sliders, a lot more curveballs when the velocity started to go. Can he still be effective? Sure. But I don't think we're ever going to see that guy again who was just, every time he took the hill, you felt like, all right, just get him one and we'll be good. And one last baseball note. One last one. Have you seen, like, the love affair with Ichiro over in Japan right now?
Yeah, it's awesome.
Oh, it's so good. I mean, Ichiro is one of the greatest to ever live.
Mm-hmm. I love Ichiro.
How can you
Always loved
not?
Ichiro.
How can you not? If you love baseball and you don't love Ichiro, you don't love baseball. You think you do. I mean, this guy was. Why are the dogs going nuts? Relax. This guy was unbelievable. One of the best hitters, maybe the best hitter I've ever seen this side of Barry Bonds.
Yeah.
And a lot of people, maybe he probably didn't get the attention he deserved throughout his career because he played in Seattle. But if he played on the East Coast, he probably would have been the biggest star of the last 15 years. And
You could say the same thing about Mike Trout currently.
Yeah.
Mike Trout would be a much bigger name if he was on an East Coast team.
Oh, yeah. If he was like a Yankee or a Red Sox, forget about it. Or even a Met. He'd be a superstar because the city sells. Ask Odell Beckham.
Too soon.
We're going to get there. We still got stuff to say about that. But there was a video of Ichiro throwing the ball to third base this weekend.
Mm-hmm.
Still has a cannon.
He does.
At 45. He's amazing. He really is. And it's going to be sad to see him go because that's coming soon. We thought it was coming last year, but
it's probably this year, I would assume.
Yeah, it's got to be. I mean, they're going to have they're opening in Japan, so he's in the opening day lineup, which is you have to. You have to put him in. I mean, just out of respect. But they're going to have to move on from him, and they're also going to have to move on from Felix Hernandez soon,
King Felix,
which will be weird. Dude, you talk about a stud in his prime.
Mm-hmm.
Holy hell, that guy was unbelievable. But you said too soon, but we got to get to it.
Do we really have to?
We do.
All right, I guess so.
Don't worry, we've got Apex Season 1 in an hour. That'll heal your wounds.
I don't know about that.
So, Gettleman spoke to the media, finally, about the Odell Beckham trade. Which, if you want our thoughts, we did record them after we recorded our original episode. They are part of episode 9. You'll have to go to the end. It's about the last half
25
hour or
minutes.
So.
Yeah, half hour, 25 minutes.
Yeah, about that, where we talked about the Beckham trade. Mike was just in a glass case of emotion.
Felt like Ron Burgundy.
And understandably so. But Dave Gettleman comes out. And he just said some things that I'm not even a Giants fan, but I scratch my head. Here's one quote. Really and truly, you can win while you're building. So he's saying they're building. He then goes into, so we're rebuilding. We were 3-13 when I took over. We were 5-11 last year, and 12 of those games were a touchdown or less. What is he trying to spin here? This team was bad last year.
It was pretty bad.
The Giants were a bad football team. I watched them. It wasn't fun.
I watched them too.
They weren't good.
No, they were far from good.
But the real kicker, okay? He, once again, said, as I've said publicly twice, we didn't sign him to trade him, talking about Odell Beckham. But obviously things changed. Frankly, what changed is another team made an offer we couldn't refuse. What?
I could refuse that offer.
We all could.
I quoted that tweet and said that. I'm like, no, you just chose not to refuse it, you fucking idiot.
He's a liar. He's a liar because we know from the report that he called the Buffalo Bills after they didn't get Antonio Brown to see if they were interested in trading for Odell Beckham Jr. So you didn't get an offer you couldn't refuse. You were shopping the guy. And then that's the offer you couldn't refuse? I'm sorry. Herschel Walker. Remember we talked about trading him, and I said you'd have to get a Herschel Walker return. They did not get a Herschel Walker return. A first, a third, and Jabril Peppers? No disrespect to the kid. He's a good athlete.
Apparently Jabril Peppers was like the major piece in that trade. Did you read that?
No, I didn't know that.
He said if Peppers isn't in the trade, he's not going for it.
Well, I'll tell you what. If Peppers wasn't in the trade, that means you would have traded Odell for a first and a third.
Yeah, thank God for Jabril Peppers.
You might have had to put the SWAT team outside of Gettleman's house at that point.
Yeah, because I'd probably find out where he lives, and he'd definitely. Probably shouldn't say it, but he'd be dead. He'd be dead.
Gettleman, dead.
He would be. I'd be on the New York Daily News in handcuffs.
And you know what? Hot take. You'd be a hero.
I probably would be.
You'd be a hero to some Giants fans. Listen, we don't condone murder. Just saying. We're passionate sports fans, and these are the things that come to mind. But
I just want to know if I hypothetically killed Dave Gettleman after the Odell trade, and I died in prison or whatever. Do you think I get like a Biggie funeral where they would just be playing something down the street?
um,
Did I get that kind of respect from Giants fans?
I don't think that your
I mean, I
body
don't have.
would be paraded down the street because you would be in police custody and all that.
Yeah, but
But I do think
outside the prison, just play some music or something.
what are they playing? They're playing taps like you were.
I don't want taps. I mean, I don't even know. Hit me with some Billy Joel. Only the good die young.
You may be right.
Yeah, that might be it.
Oh man,
I could just be the lunatic they're looking for.
Yeah, you might just be. You might just be because I don't. He keeps saying there's a plan. I don't.
There's
think
no
there
plan.
is.
I can tell you flat out, there is no fucking plan.
And he's like, I don't think they're gonna address the quarterback position. I just realized this is episode 10. We didn't even say Eli Manning.
He doesn't deserve it. Don't even start. I love Eli, but the whole, I don't know. He doesn't deserve to be mentioned with Lou Gehrig and all these people.
No, and he's, and I don't want to. I've been known to pile on Eli. I think Eli's a good dude. I think he's a good person. He's never embarrassed the organization, and he just does his job. But he's not good at his job anymore, and that's fine because he's 38 years old, and he hasn't been good for a couple years. But this doubling down, that was another quote. Didn't he say it's not crazy, he's not overpaid, and they're paying him like $28 million?
You want me to get the direct quote? Because it kind of pissed me off when I read it yesterday.
Yeah, while you look that up, I don't understand it because, and thank God they signed Golden Tate, by the way, because I feared for Saquon Barkley. I thought they were going to run him into the ground. I think the Golden Tate signing helps that a little bit because Tate is one of those, short pass weapons that you can throw those quick outs, those quick slants, and they can get that working, the bubble screens and everything, and maybe Engram. I know you don't like him. I like Engram. Maybe he takes.
I mean, I like him, but
you don't believe him. It's there.
I just don't know. He's just not. He's my Chris Kreider on the Giants. That's what it is.
By the way,
that's what it is.
Speaking of Chris Kreider,
Epiphany.
Where's my 30 goals, bro? I was told this was the year.
He ain't getting
it. Has he? I mean, he's gone ice cold.
Ice cold. The man is dead. He has no blood flow throughout his body. I don't even think he's put up like a fucking. I don't even know because I haven't even been watching Ranger games because I haven't been home.
Okay,
but
while you look at that quote, let me.
Oh, I got the quote.
You got the quote? Okay, one second though. Just a quick history of me and Chris Kreider. All right, because people think I've been hard on Kreider, and I have been, but it's because I'm frustrated with this man's talent. He's got so much talent, the speed, the size, should be better than he is how I feel. Now, one fateful night, it was opening day at the Garden. You were there, I believe. Nick was there. Tons of people were there. And after the game, we left, and we walked to the side of the Garden where people were going, nah, all the players already came out. All right, no big deal. Now I look across the street, and I go, guys, it's Chris Kreider standing right there. And more than one person said to me, yeah, met him already. He's a douchebag. That's a direct quote. And I said to myself, no. I will not heed these warnings. I want to find out for myself. So, I make my way across the street. Now, he was talking to two girls, by the way, because these girls Clearly just wanted to learn about hockey. I mean, obviously, that's what girls do at hockey games. And I just go, hey, Chris, good game tonight. And I stick out my hand to shake the man's hand as a show of respect, I respect your game. Good job tonight. He looks at me. He gives me a dead fish, and he goes, and I quote, yeah. End quote.
The infamous yeah. And now every time he misses the the net on most nights, me and you will simultaneously just tweet out in quotes, yeah.
Yeah. And I was just like, all right, turns out he is a douche. What am I going to say? I can't defend him anymore. And listen, you don't have to be a nice guy to be an athlete. I don't believe all pro athletes should be a nice guy. But when you're not, you better produce, or I'm going to criticize. And that's why I'm so hard on Chris Kreider. And I believe he should score 30 goals. And it looks like, again, he won't. Shocker.
He won't.
But back to Dave Gettleman. So what was the quote that pissed you off?
The narrative that Eli Manning is overpaid and can't play anymore is a crock. I'm not buying it. Motherfucker, did you watch the games last year?
Of course he did. They improved. They went from 3-13 to 5-11. 12 games were a touchdown or less. Had nothing to do with Saquon having the year he did, though. It was all Eli.
Yeah.
I feel bad for Saquon, dude.
Yeah. Sorry, Saquon, we're ruining your career.
And the thing is, I know you don't like Haskins. But
I don't like Haskins.
and they're not. They don't seem to be interested in him, but they don't seem to be interested in any quarterbacks.
There's no good quarter. I mean, Kyler. I would take the shot at. I talked to my dad about this earlier in the week. My dream scenario is still going out and trading for Josh Rosen if he's available, which I have no idea. I don't know if he is anymore.
I don't know, but I would think I would be ecstatic for you. You know how I feel about Rosen.
Yes, that's dream scenario for me. Obviously, Eli is going to be here this year. Nothing you can do about that. He's going to be here for the year.
If as long as it's just this year.
Yeah, but you still need to address the quarterback situation. This is the thing. The quarterback situation in this draft class this year is not great. Dwayne Haskins, don't want him. The Giants are going to have the 6th pick and the 17th pick in the first round. So, hypothetically speaking, you draft best available at 6. And judging on if Kyler Murray is there at 17, you draft Kyler Murray at 17.
Kyler Murray is going first in most mock drafts, which means nothing. Mock drafts mean nothing.
And if that's the case, if he goes first to Arizona, Rosen is available, and the Giants should be all over that.
There you go. That's
my whole thing. Like, it's either you go Rosen or you take Kyler Murray if available. And if not, then you better hope you get a top 5 pick next year where the quarterback class is a lot better.
Yeah, I mean, but here's the thing. What if this is just who Gettleman is, and he goes, nope, we're gonna address the quarterback next year in the draft.
He's an idiot.
But then he doesn't like Tua or whoever's coming out, or Trevor Lawrence, who I don't even know if he could come out.
He's not going to come out. I think he already said he's gonna do like the whole 4 years in college.
Really?
Yes.
See, maybe it's just me, but hey, maybe it's not all about the money for those guys, and that's awesome if that's how it is. But for me, like, you remember when Cardale Jones took Ohio State to, I believe it was the championship game, and it was after, what's his name got hurt? I'm drawing a blank on the quarterback got hurt, and Cardale Jones played he started 4 games, if that. It wasn't a lot. But his value was so high because of how he played, and then he chose to not declare for the draft and did nothing but hurt his value over the next year. I just think when you're valued at such a high place where you're seen as a potential first-round pick, I think you should go. I mean, that's just me. That's how I would handle it. Mm-hmm. So it would really surprise me if he stays there for the whole 4 years. Some guys do, but it's not the norm anymore.
Nah. I mean, I would love Trevor Lawrence.
He showed me a lot in that championship game because I thought a teenager on the big stage against Nick Saban and Bama
carved them apart.
Completely carved them up. I mean, my God, the game was over like halfway through the second. It was rough. I put money on that game. I wish I didn't.
So I'm looking at Chris Kreider stats so far. So far, we're almost through March.
What's he got? 26.
Yeah, because he hasn't scored a goal since February 24th. So he hasn't scored a goal in a month.
Almost.
But in the whole month of March, he only has 2 points.
2 assists.
Yep.
Yeah, This is why I always call him Casper the Unfriendly Ghost.
Yeah.
He was not friendly to me, and he disappears every now and then. That's fine.
Oh, he's off the reservation right now. The month of March could be International Ghost Month.
How many games are left? Not a lot. 14, maybe.
If that. Let's see. 10.
10. So he's got 10 games to score 4 goals.
He ain't doing it, folks. Telling you flat out.
I'd be surprised. But I'm actually excited for the end of hockey season so that I can get back into it and get excited for the playoffs. 'Cause to me, Stanley Cup playoff is the best playoffs in all of sports.
Yes.
Better than the MLB, better than the NFL. The NHL playoffs are bananas.
It's awesome.
Shit just goes nuts, and it's so good. It is so awesome to watch, and I can't wait for it. But one last note on the NFL draft, which I had it in front of me. Where'd it go? Okay. You've got the Cardinals, Niners, Jets, Raiders, Buccaneers. Those are the 5 teams in front of the Giants. Again, if the Cardinals take Murray, they've got their quarterback, and then you can go all in on Rosen. Mm-hmm. I think if they take Murray, I would do everything I could to get Rosen before I have to pick at 6. Because, or you might I wouldn't use the 6th pick on Rosen because he was picked after 6. But if you could get him and then just go anywhere with that 6th pick and your other picks, because San Fran, I think San Fran's getting Nick Bosa.
I think so too.
Yeah, if Nick Bosa's there, you take him. Then you got the Jets sitting at 3. Doesn't that seem crazy now after they've already improved as much as they have?
Yeah.
They've already got their quarterback in Darnold. They signed Le'Veon Bell. They signed C.J. Mosley. Anthony Barr was there for 2.5 seconds. And then...
I wonder if he gets a tribute video.
That would be hysterical. They should do that just for the laugh.
They should. Have some fun with it.
I don't know if they play Minnesota. They probably don't.
No, I don't think so.
That would be hilarious.
No, because the AFC East is playing the NFC East this year.
Okay. But, yeah, so...
Because I had...
improved big time. And you still got my guy Jamal Adams back there. And then they're going to pick 3rd, and you could probably pick Josh Allen. Or if Bosa's sitting there with McCagnon's luck in drafts, it wouldn't shock me.
Yeah, I mean, if he's sitting there, you take him.
Yeah, but if you look at it for this way, say the Cardinals take Bosa and they don't take Murray. What are the Giants' chances then?
You trade up and you get Murray.
Yeah, I mean, that would be
you have to.
The Niners have Garoppolo.
Yes.
The Jets have Darnold.
Yes.
The one that's questionable to me are the next 2 because the Raiders, usually you would say, well, they got Derek Carr. I don't think Gruden's in love with Carr.
I don't think so either.
So they might take Murray. And if you're the Giants, you definitely got to try to trade up. Maybe you call the Jets because after the Raiders is the Bucks, and we know about their quarterback situation. I don't think
crab legs.
Yeah, and Jameis Winston has been underwhelming to say the least.
I will never forgive Jameis Winston for that stupid video of him holding up the W with his fingers, then sucking on his fingers in the team huddle.
What's that? We gotta eat a W. I was like, yo, did he just say they gotta eat a W? That's crazy. That's like not crazy, like, oh, awesome crazy. There might be something wrong with you crazy.
Did they lose that game? They had to have lost that game, right?
Yeah, I think they were playing the Saints.
I hope they got blown out.
Because that wasn't the game that they won in New Orleans last year. I think it was the year before that happened. And how about, you want to talk about a guy who's played the NFL right? Ryan Fitzpatrick gets a $60 million deal in Miami.
I was going to bring that up if you didn't touch on it.
Dude, I mean...
The Fitzmagic tour, continuing.
Harvard guy knowing how to make his money. He's milking this league for all that it's worth. Good for him.
Yeah, I mean, he's got like 8 kids, so he needs every dollar he can get.
That is true. Him and Phillip Rivers are ridiculous. Does Phillip Rivers have like 9 or 10?
I think he's double digits,
I think he is double digits.
which is bananas.
That's
I don't even
insane.
want more than 2 when the
Dude,
time comes.
I think about having one kid, and I lose my mind thinking about it.
Isn't it terrifying?
It is. Especially, like, it's like, I'm somebody who, I want to be financially set before I start making moves like that. So I'm thinking about my future from the standpoint of, all right, I'm almost done with school. I've got options now, and I'm thinking about it like that. You throw a baby into it? That's like a tornado landing on my car while I'm on a bridge. I don't want that.
I'd rather be in a tornado.
Well.
I'll be flat out. Right now, if you said, hey, newborn baby, or you're getting tossed into the middle of a tornado, I'm taking tornado. 10 out of 10. I can't deal with that shit right now.
No, that terrified. Like, I'm an uncle so many times, and I love being an uncle because
Yeah, it's great. I'm an uncle.
It's just
good times.
You could be the cool uncle. You have fun, and then when they start fussing or
give them back.
They crap in their pants. All right, your responsibility. I don't got to do nothing anymore.
Yeah.
We were having fun. Now it's your turn. They were having fun with me. Then you came in here, you started crying. But yeah. So that has nothing to do with sports, but it is terrifying. Real quick, we're gonna have a little Q&A, but before that, dude, we are almost to the Masters.
We are.
And Tiger looks good. He doesn't look dominant, but he looks healthy. And he shot a 69 his last day at the Players Championship.
Nice.
Very nice. Very nice. I just want it to be the year so bad. I want him to get that 15th major. We're big Tiger Woods fans here.
I'm praying for it.
I know we were like the few while he was really going through the downs and, couldn't get on the course, his back, and then the whole Uber incident where he was, actually no, that was a Shale Sonnen joke. He had the DUI.
When he was all hopped up on pain meds.
Yep. Yeah.
Speaking of that DUI incident, did you see the Tiger coming out of the clubhouse and the fan had the white shirt on with his mugshot on it?
With his mugshot, and Tiger started laughing.
I mean, you can't help but laugh. That's why you love Tiger. I love Tiger.
He's come a long way from being that kind of robotic dominant force where you're seeing a more human side of him.
Yeah.
And it's cool because
he's having a lot more fun.
Yeah, I forgot who he was golfing with this weekend.
Was it how quickly the guy he's partnered up with took the ball out of the hole and then Tiger mimicked him right after? I was dying.
Hysterical. Tiger doesn't do that 10 years ago.
No.
Not at all. So it was cool to see. And I hope he gets it, man. I mean, you can ask my girlfriend. I lost my mind one night when last year, I believe it was the U.S. Open, where he was chasing, or what? It might have been the British Open, one of the majors, and he was in contention, and some clown had them change the TV at the bar from Tiger chasing 15 to a replay of a Giants-Browns preseason game.
It could have been Gettleman. Watching tape on Jabril Peppers.
So mad. I think I yelled jerk off in the restaurant.
It's warranted.
And you know how, like, we were at Texas Roadhouse, and if you've ever been to them, they always come around and, like, how's everything, this and that. And the manager came around and was like, how's everything? I was like, the food's great, but some asshole, and I literally said it to her. Diana was so embarrassed. She was like, I can't take you anywhere. I was like, you don't understand. Like, Tiger's chasing 15, and this guy wants to watch a replay of the Giants-Browns preseason game?
I'm telling you, Gettleman was there.
Maybe that's where he became intrigued with Jabril Peppers.
I'm telling you, he was getting the tape. He was putting in the work.
Go Tiger, go! I can't wait for major season. But,
I can't either.
Right before we came on the air, so to speak, I put out a tweet and said, if you have any questions, let us know, and we will address them. And our buddy Sean, I'm Sean Taggart, if you want to follow him.
Yep, shout out Sean.
His name has had a dad bod since I was 8, which is freaking hilarious. He was asking you if you can talk about the ESPN Plus deal or the extension for the UFC, and if them completely going off pay-per-view in the U.S. will hurt them.
All right. So I didn't read too much into it. I skimmed the article a little bit before we started this.
Mm-hmm.
So the vibe I'm getting from it is, all right. So this is the first year that UFC is partnered with ESPN. They went on to ESPN Plus for all their fight nights, basically.
Which I did sign up for, by the way, and you're
It's
right.
on. In all seriousness, it's a great app.
It is. I like it.
It is a great app. You get out of market games for almost every sport. They always have a game of the night type thing. And then you get ESPN on like almost every Saturday because all the fight nights they have. Like tonight, I'm looking at my TV. Maple Leafs at Predators, ESPN Plus, 8 o'clock. If you want to watch some hockey, good game right there.
Some Austin Matthews.
Yeah, Austin Matthews, John Tavares, PK Subban.
It's a lot. It's a lot of star power in that game.
Yeah, it should be fun. But yeah. So I was reading it a little bit. So they're gonna start. You can purchase the pay-per-views through ESPN Plus,
Okay.
which is a little interesting. So normal UFC pay-per-view, I believe it's what I was reading. It's $64.99. I don't buy UFC pay-per-views. I either go out and watch them, or sorry Dana White, I stream them illegally. Like probably 60% of the audience does. But
Yeah, I go out usually.
yeah. But so it's $64.99 for the pay-per-view. So if you have ESPN Plus, which I believe is running $4.99 a month, it's $59.99 for the pay-per-view. So really, you're not saving anything.
You're not saving anything. Yeah.
No.
In fact, you're paying more when you take into account that ESPN Plus is a monthly payment.
Yes.
So no, I'm all right.
And then I was reading they were going to do package deals with if you buy ESPN Plus, you can choose one pay-per-view, and for like the yearly thing, which comes out to $70 for the year. So you're paying for the 12-month subscription of ESPN Plus, and then you're basically getting a pay-per-view tossed in there for like $30, $35. Which, I mean, it's kind of good in that sense, because me being a big UFC fan, you know the big pay-per-views every year.
Well, that would be my question. Like, is it that you have to pick it at the time of that you make the purchase of the subscription, or
It's either that or
a
if
huge card coming up, you're just like, this is the one I want.
I think that's what it is. I think you can I think it's basically I would say it's like a coupon thing. Like it's just sitting in your back pocket, and whenever you want to use it, I'm gonna assume there's something that can be like, oh, purchase with credit or something like that.
Okay, that makes sense.
That would be my guess.
That would be really cool, actually. I like that.
Yeah. So me being a big UFC fan, the last card of the year is always a huge card, like that New Year's Eve weekend type thing. They usually put on a big one.
You know what? I like. Part of me really likes that sports do that. Like if you remember, the national championship in football used to be January 1st.
Yes.
And stuff like that used to be cool. As I've gotten older, I don't like it. It's like, oh, but I'm gonna be out. I'm gonna be drinking.
Yeah.
Are they gonna have it on? Like I want to.
Yeah, I mean, I don't think in recent memory, it's never been on like actual New Year's Eve.
Just that weekend or something.
Yeah, because I think last year was December 29th, and that was I'm pretty sure John Jones was on that card.
Was that the Weidman fight too? I think Weidman was on that fight, on that card rather.
I believe so. I want to say was that Jones? I know I definitely watched it. Can't remember off the top of my head. But that's always a big card. They always have International Fight Week, which is usually in end of June or early July, and that's always a huge card. That's always like one of the biggest cards they put on every year. Like was the McGregor a couple years ago now. McGregor and Chad Mendez fought. The infamous Rory McDonald Robbie Lawler fight, which might be hands down one of the best fights I've ever seen in my life. That was on the same card. This year, I think McGregor's actually going to be fighting because he came out saying he wants to fight in July. So we could be seeing McGregor on the International Fight Week pay-per-view card.
I hope he doesn't fight like Khabib or Diaz again.
He's not going to fight Khabib.
There's
a lot of talk about Donald Cerrone, but I think that fell apart.
Dude, I would love that fight.
It would be fun.
The Cowboy.
Yeah, it would be a fun fight.
It would be a lot of fun.
Donald Cerrone will not turn down a single fight. Like, given to him. He'll take anything.
He's
He'll
down
fight.
to brawl.
He can fight tonight, and he'll be ready to go Saturday.
Yeah,
He's
he's
kind of guy
always
he
a fun
is.
fight.
Yeah, great guy. Love Donald Cerrone. But yeah, I mean, do I think? What was this question? Do I think the pay-per-views
Well,
strictly being on ESPN Plus is going to ruin anything?
that it's gonna hurt them.
I don't think so. I really don't. I mean, it's a weird move, but it's basically the same price.
They're trying different things, and it's
And from what I read, they said the whole partnership with ESPN so far in the 3 months has been like phenomenal.
and
Like they couldn't have like expected anything better coming from this, and
also
they've been killing it.
I think that Dana White, he's not gonna hurt himself financially
No,
in doing something like this.
smart man. People
Yeah,
hate him. He's a smart guy.
yeah, he's definitely done his research, and they probably feel that this is the best thing for them right now. And again, like you said, you're not saving much
No,
if you go through the ESPN Plus.
I
So,
want. I'm kind of curious as how many, because I think ESPN Plus was around before UFC signed with ESPN. So I'm kind of
ESPN Plus is fairly new. It's only like months old. I don't even think it's a
yeah.
year old yet.
No, definitely not a year old. But I don't remember if they had it like last like October, November, or anything like that, or if it was strictly brought up once UFC started with ESPN. That I'm not sure about. But
I don't know.
yeah, I don't know.
A
But
little breaking news though. Bruce Irvin, defensive end, has signed a 1-year deal with the Carolina Panthers. So, Panthers trying to help that pass rush. Bruce Irvin's a nice player. It's a good deal for them.
it's not bad. Any dollar figure on that?
Not as of yet, and that was a Schefter tweet, so it should be official.
Yeah, Shefty doing God's work.
That guy's unbelievable. And then Sean also had one more question, where he said, "Does Bryce Harper regret his decision after seeing the Trout deal?"
Yes,
I'm gonna say no.
I'm gonna say
I'm gonna
yes.
say, I'm gonna say
Because
no.
I think Harper could have got more.
I do think
I
he
think he
got more,
deserved more. Maybe he wouldn't have gotten more.
but I also think he knows he could have gotten more. I think he wanted to be in Philly because that LA deal that he was being offered, $45 million a year for 5 years or 6 years. I mean, he knows he could have gotten more, and also
It definitely came down to years.
I know Harper is a kind of seen as the cocky kid on the block, and he is. He's got a little punk in him. It's part of why I love him, to be honest.
Yeah, me too.
But if you remember in the All-Star game in Washington, he was in right field, and they had him mic'd up, which, by the way, MLB, start doing that more often. It
Yes.
is awesome when you're talking to the players mic'd up. I don't know if players would like to do that during actual meaningful games, but I think they should explore it. And maybe the Players Association wouldn't go for it, but I think they should look into that. But he was mic'd up, and he was talking with Joe Buck, and Mike Trout came to the plate, and they asked him about Mike Trout and said, he's revered as the best player in the game. What do you think about that? And with a smile, Bryce just said, man, if you don't think he's the best player of the game, you haven't been paying attention. So he's got the utmost respect for Mike Trout. And I think he'd probably say it's great for the game because now other guys are going to make more money.
Yeah.
Now, I mean, Trout overtook the average annual salary by a couple of million because he's going up to 36. I think the highest was Arenado's 33.5 or 32.5. So when you're head and shoulders above the league, you're going to get paid like it because people know what he is. Can I just say, remember we talked about how the eye test is a part of judging players?
Mm-hmm.
I think that's a perfect example of how sometimes numbers lie, because Bryce Harper has one 100 RBI season under his belt. Mike Trout only has 2. So, but I think if you watch the two play, there's a noticeable gap in their games. And Bryce Harper's great. Mike Trout is phenomenal. So, just watch. If you want an opinion, just watch. You'll see. You'll see who's good. You'll see who's not. And I think that just about does it here.
Yeah.
Although I think I'm going to start doing that. Before we record, we'll ask for your questions. If you guys throughout the week ever have any questions you want us to address, just let us know, and we'll take note of it, and I think we'll do that at the end of episodes. If we got any questions, we'll address those.
Okay.
And other than that, real quick, you got a pick for March Madness as it kicks off tomorrow night, I believe.
I filled out my bracket yesterday. I took Duke. I mean, it's hard. It's hard not to take Duke.
And as a Dookie, I cannot wait. I hope we do win it.
Is that what they're called? Do they call Duke fans Dukies?
If
I
not,
hope
they
not.
do now.
I wouldn't want to be called it.
I am a Duke fan, so I'm fine with it. It doesn't bother me. I did see somebody, it was a pretty funny tweet, that said, I don't hate Zion Williamson because he's good, and I don't even hate him because he's on Duke. I hate him because he's not a linebacker.
He's unbelievable.
He's insane, dude. Whoever gets him, I think you're striking gold.
I'm praying for the Knicks.
I mean, he's got to work on his jump shot a little bit, but his athleticism, his ability to pass, to rebound, to play, you just gush over that stuff. And his knee seems fine.
Yeah.
I think he's fine.
Those first couple games back, he was
13 for 13 his first game.
Yeah.
Like, yeah, don't worry, guys,
Not
I'm
even
fine.
fair.
But
yeah.
So that'll be fun. Next week is our baseball preview episode.
Should be a fun one.
We will be giving you our division winners, will we do postseason matchups and World Series winner as well? We can do that. Our MVPs, our Cy Young. So very baseball heavy next week. As I joked, something crazy is going to happen in another sport because we're planning on this giant baseball episode. But I'm looking forward to it. Hope you guys enjoy it. And I hope you guys enjoyed this. As always, you could follow me on Twitter at JJPix13 and on Instagram at John Picarello. Mike?
You can follow me on Twitter at Mikey_DubsNY and on Instagram at Mike_Wimmers, WIMMERS.
And you can always DM us there and on Twitter. Again, if you want, if you had comments, concerns, suggestions, we're all ears. As always, leave us a review, leave us a rating, share this with your friends. And thanks for helping us stop the nonsense. We'll be back next week with episode 11.
Yep. Peace.
Lighters.